और यही सेम चीज अंजना मैडम से करवानी है अगर वो भी एक्सप्लेन कर
Yeah, sir, can you please say something on the mic? We need to test.
Yes, Mr. Puneet, can you hear me okay?
Oh, okay, sir.
Is my voice audible?
Yes, there is a audio issue, something, sir, from our end. We will
Okay,
resolve it.
no problem. Thank you. I will wait.
Okay, sir. चलिए वही सर यार होगा एक भाई बारा
हेलो सर एक बार बोलने के लिए
sir, I'm audible.
I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Sir,
I can hear you very well.
yes, sir, we will resolve it. Actually, your voice comes in our laptop. We will try to resolve it.
Okay, no problem.
हेलो 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 माइक चेक हेलो माइक चेक हेलो माइक चेक
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. Mr. Puneet, I can hear you.
हेलो माइक चेक हेलो
I can hear you, Mr. Puneet. I think that Lloyd Institute, another icon is on mute. Is that the issue? Hello? I can hear you very well, Mr. Puneet.
Sir, yeah, sir, can you please say something?
Can you hear me now?
Sir, now can you please say something?
I can, yeah. Hello, Mr. Puneet. Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me, Mr. Puneet? Hello.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Richard Sharma from Lloyd School of Pharmacy, starting with the plenary session 3, Applications of Artificial Intelligence in Pharmaceuticals and Healthcare. AI is redefining every step of pharmaceutical and healthcare value chain, from molecule discovery to patient care. This session highlights the real-world application, from predictive diagnostics and smart drug design to automated data analysis. So to detail us more on this, we will be connecting you with our esteemed speaker, Mr. Bhav Sahib Patil sir, Senior Director, Strategic Operations, IQVA, United Kingdom. Sir has already joined us through Zoom platform. Welcome, sir. The
Thank you.
session is chaired by Dr. Rajesh Agarwal, sir, General Manager R&D, Modi Mandi Pharma Private Limited, and EC member, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Delhi State Branch. May I request, sir, to please come on the stage? I would request Dr. Radha Goyal, Professor, Lloyd School of Pharmacy, to please welcome, sir. Please welcome, sir, with a huge round of applause. Thank you, ma'am. The session chair, Dr. Rajesh Agarwal, is the General Manager at R&D at Modi Mandi Pharmaceutical Research and Development Center with over 28 years of experience in formulation and product development. Dr. Agarwal has successfully developed around 13 modified oral dosage forms and completed 9 product technology transfers. He has published numerous scientific articles and is a life member of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, actively contributing as a reviewer, speaker, and mentor in the pharmaceutical research community. I would now request the session chair to kindly introduce the speaker.
Very good afternoon to all, and very good morning to Dr. Bhav Sahib Patil. It's my honor and privilege to introduce our session speaker, who is Mr. Bhav Sahib Patil. He is Senior Director Strategic Operations in IQVIA. IQVIA is a very famed company in the field of pharmaceutical research and data management. I'll just give you a brief of Mr. Bhav Sahib Patil. After his completion of post-graduation in pharmaceutical sciences in 1996, Mr. Bhav Sahib Patil received an excellent opportunity to enter in the field of clinical research in India. Sir is currently the Senior Director Strategic Operations, IQVIA United Kingdom, as an advisor in BSER, a non-profit organization in Pune, India. Mr. Patil is actively involved in contribution to the introduction of STEM role model into schools as a part of STEM ambassador program in collaboration with the UK government. We all are very anxious to hear from him about the role of application of artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical and healthcare. So over to you, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Now over to the session to Bhav Sahib Patil.
Thank you very much, and very good afternoon to everyone. Just wanted to make sure, can you all hear my voice okay?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
All right, and Mr. Puneet, I am not able to share my presentation, so will you please give me host rights? So, as I think, before I start the presentation and share my screen, first of all, I do want to thank you, Dr. Gupta, and the management of Lloyd's Institute of Management and Technology. I had a pleasure of visiting the institute for a very brief time during my visit to India, I think exactly about a year ago. So, although it was a short visit, I think we established a long-lasting connection. So, thank you for this opportunity. I know, I think I have a short time, and I'm just going to start sharing my screen. And give me a minute. And please let me know, are you able to see my screen at your end?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. So I know that we have a very limited time. So first of all, thank you everyone, including the chair of this session. I was listening to the presentation, the previous couple of presentations, very attentively, and I think we all agree, the artificial intelligence is a buzzword, not just in the pharmaceutical industry, but you go in any sector, be in a hospitality industry, the airline industry, the construction industry, or even the manufacturing. Everyone talks about artificial intelligence, and I think there is a lot of information. Some information is correct, some is not correct, and what I've done, I have just made an attempt to walk you through its relevance to the pharmaceutical and the healthcare in particular. And before I present the presentation, this is intended for the informational purpose, so just a disclaimer. So these are my own views and not necessarily with the company that I work for. Now that doesn't mean some of this data is inaccurate. I have to just follow the policy, and I'm just presenting this on my behalf. So I wanted to touch upon these few areas in the next 20 minutes. So the overview of artificial intelligence in healthcare. How this is helping. In the pharmaceutical research and development. What are the applications in healthcare? Including the care or diagnostic. I think the previous session we heard about the clinical trials, which is an area I have been working for the last 30 years. But in addition to that, there are a lot of applications in terms of that administrative use of AI. And I think we also touched a lot. AI is a good thing, but along with that opportunity, it also comes with some challenges. And I want to touch towards the end, understanding the challenges. Now, when I say challenges, that doesn't mean we should not be using AI, but understanding the challenges, and that could become the future research area for some of us as a researcher to find appropriate solutions. So just before I start, this is just all of you can just scan this. I'm going to project this towards the end. I would like to hear your feedback in today's session, and in case if you would like to hear more, happy to include you in my email distribution list. So let's talk about the artificial intelligence in healthcare. What is artificial intelligence? And I think, all of us understand artificial intelligence in different way. And as I said earlier, there is, quite honestly, when you speak with artificial intelligence to somebody, you get varied responses. And sometimes people get confused with artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. And I wanted to spend maybe a few minutes just to talk about, are these terminologies the same or there is a difference? Using some simple real life examples. So if you see on this slide, first understand what is artificial intelligence. And as the word describes, artificial, it is it is made up, and intelligence. So we are making machine to think like a human. And I think that's sort of if you describe, it's an ability of machine to function like a human brain. And I think the previous speaker talked about the history of artificial intelligence goes back to almost 200, 300 years ago. So it is not something new. Maybe the word is new. And especially in the healthcare setup, the application of artificial intelligence started from 1950. So if you, and again, look at the examples of artificial intelligence in our real life, those robotic vacuum cleaners, they can clean your house without any supervision. We have, those Alexa on our Google, or, Siri on iPhone. You can give them commands, prepare a wake up call at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is what I did, to prepare for this session, or, self-driving cars and trucks. So, these are few examples of, the artificial intelligence. Now let's talk about, what is the machine learning? And I think, the machine learning, it's a subset of AI. So it sits under the AI, artificial intelligence family. And if I give probably like another example, you will see about, I think, when this concept started 3 years ago, I used to drop my son for his cricket sessions every Friday at 6 o'clock. And I would put on my Google, on my iPhone, a map to go from my home to the cricket stadium. And then, my map will guide me how to reach there. Now, the Google map is kind of an artificial intelligence. So it will show me the way. But what happened over a period of time, my iPhone learned that this gentleman every Friday at 5 p.m. goes from his house to a cricket stadium. So this is where machine started learning the pattern. And that is a machine learning. So they knew that this gentleman every Friday at 5 p.m. goes to cricket stadium. And this is where, before 5 p.m., in around like 4:45, my iPhone started showing me a prompt saying that, you want to go to the stadium, maybe like, so it will take about 15 minutes. Now, machine learn from my pattern. Same example, what you see on the right-hand side, when you Google any website like Netflix or Amazon, nowadays you will see that Amazon, once Amazon knows that maybe a particular individual like a beauty products or a specific utensils, the machine learning will create website customized for you based on your likings. And that is the, machine learning concept in real life. Suddenly, when you do Google search, if you're doing some literature search, or if you're looking for a watch, you can see on the right hand side, next day you will see the advertisements of watch, the new watch has come up. And that is how that has come, because that is how machine started learning this individual has specific liking for that product. And so this is the machine learning. Now, what about the deep learning? And it goes sort of further level down, and it solves complex problem. Now, what does that mean with the example that I gave in my earlier? I machine knew that this gentleman goes every Friday between at 5 o'clock to the stadium. I have started telling this individual that, it will take 15 minutes. Now machine is learning from other areas. And now machine started telling me at 4:45 that don't use this usual route because there is an accident on the road. So if you want to reach by 5 p.m., either you need to start at 4:30 or you need to take alternative route. So machine started collecting data, not just from my behavior, but collecting information from surrounding, the accident, or maybe if it is going to rain, maybe you need to put more time. And that is what, machine learns not only from your behavior, but surrounding data and builds up that algorithm. And that's an example of, this deep learning, as I gave. So you can see right now, we have those digital virtual assistant, which is used in the medical or healthcare or face recognition. Most of the airports now, especially in Europe or the United States, if your passport has face recognition, you do not have to go through the normal security. You just go through that automated security. Your face will be recognized. Your passport will be scanned and it will be matched together and you will be out in less than 2 minutes. And I think those are the concepts of AI, ML, and deep learning. Now, having talked about that, maybe, in our day-to-day language, these are, I think, currently you can say the use cases in healthcare market, which are the top 10 uses of artificial intelligence. So you talk about medical image analysis, looking at the X-rays or mammogram. Currently, just about a couple of months ago, the UK government, the National Health Service, they have launched a huge case study wherein usually the mammograms are read by two radiologists, But nowadays, they are replacing one radiologist with a artificial intelligence technique to see, to train the model. And I think this is where you can get double output. Now, again, I think the previous speaker talked about that doesn't mean the job of radiologist is going to go away. In fact, there is so much of backlog. So these radiologists can, even the another radiologist can review image for more women and complete that study much earlier. So it's not, I think, the AI is here to help you, not necessarily to replace your work. So just one example, then healthcare virtual digital assistants. So again, in some of the healthcare system now, if you have normal illness, then digital healthcare assistant can help you to give you some preliminary information before you reach out to the doctor. We heard a lot about computational drug discovery or effectiveness, patient data processing, or I think even the previous speaker talked about patient matching in the clinical trial, the biomarker discovery. And I think there are a lot of application, and I think while this application shows a lot of promises to reduce the cost of drug discovery from billions of dollars to significantly lower. Now, we do not know how much that lower means. This is still ongoing research, but it definitely shows that promise. These are few articles again I looked at. The AI healthcare market, a couple of years ago, it was projected at 35 billion US dollar, and we have already surpassed that. So this is the data of 2022. But I think that everyone is now coming up with some apps. Even you talk about Apple, Google. This is just another article, American Clinical Research Professional Association. So they have last year, projected how this artificial intelligence is going to help in the clinical trial workforce or reviewing the current methodology. And then, few examples I want to quote here. And this is where I also want to say here loud and clear. When we say artificial intelligence here, it is not, in my humble opinion, going to replace as a human being. You need artificial intelligence coupled with natural intelligence from people like us to help machine learn. And this is where you will see majority of these pharmaceutical companies like Roche, Novartis, Bayer, Boehringer Ingelheim. Recently, Lilly has partnered with NVIDIA. They have partnered with this technology company, giving the domain experience and make machine learn and speed the clinical research. Now, while doing this, it is not artificial intelligence going to do it alone. It is not that pharmaceutical industries are going to do it alone. They need to come together and help speed the science. And I think that is my message to you all. Many times we hear, maybe we don't need scientists or we don't need radiologists. And again, in my humble opinion, that is not true. It will still take a lot of time to get there, and we still do not know if we will get there. And I think if we really understand artificial intelligence, we are educating machine to behave like a human. So if you stop teaching machine will just learn what it knows at that point in time. So, so this is just one example I want to give you. Very recently, I heard a CEO of one of the largest pharmaceutical company during their shareholders meeting talking about how artificial intelligence is helping to discover new medicines. And if you go into any conferences, every CEO of pharmaceutical company, they have one question in mind: how AI can help maximize our impact, how I can bring in medicines faster. And I think that this is where, if you see, each new medicine costs on and around 2 billion US dollars, and there is a high failure rate, behind thousands of compound you test in the lab, the success rate is one, and that too you realize after 10 to 15 years. So this is where there is a lot of inefficiency. And I want to explain that probably, maybe in a very, very simplistic language, in a layman language, how this artificial intelligence is working. So if you think about a human body, it is made up of a lot of proteins. And when some of those protein structure is not behaving the way it should behave, it causes a disease. And I give my famous example. Let's, if I have a fever, and let's imagine that fever is caused by one protein in your body which is supposed to be straight, and because of that fever, that protein has now bent, and now you need a medicine to convert that protein from bent structure to the straight, which is where your fever will go back. So you need a medicine which can help to push that protein structure to make it straight. And while you do that, you have to push in a way that that push should not be so fast that protein structure will break. The push should not be so slow that your fever will last longer. So this is where though you have various calculations in terms of that chemical structure, the force, what do you need, two carbon, one hydrogen, one nitrogen. And once you know that protein structure, you have the lab where you can find out the right structure to make that protein straight. And this is what exactly artificial intelligence is doing right now. In the old days, you would test thousands of compounds and find which one is the right one. And this is where right now you will see a couple, I think last year there was a Nobel Prize for a couple of chemists. And some of they have this protein bank, and the companies like Google DeepMind or Isomorphic Lab, they are able to study that protein structure, find the molecule which can help bring that structure right. And that's where, instead of spending years together, your research could be done in a lot of a much fewer time. Now again, as I said, that doesn't mean it is going to take human out of the equation. It is human is always going to be there to educate the machine and find the right structure which can help that. And I think the more beauty of artificial intelligence, as I said with my fewer example, the protein structure, if it is bended on the right hand side, maybe let's say that is a sign of fever. But artificial intelligence can also tell you if that protein structure bends on the opposite side, maybe that is not fever, something else, and that disease is not yet found. But the AI can help you to find medicine even for that type of phenomena by predicting what may happen if the protein structure is bent on the other side, or the protein structure is bent downwards. And I think this is where AI is helping to speed the clinical research. These are few examples again, and I think I also want to call it out. Many times when I take these sessions, I ask the question to the pharmaceutical students, life science students, which is your dream company that you want to work for? And many times, if I'm in India, people will say Dr. Reddy's, or maybe, Novartis. If I push it further, they will talk more about, those multinational companies. But, as you have seen in my previous slide, you should not be surprised if you start working with Apple, if you start working with Google, finding the new therapies in the future, because that is what is happening right now. The pharmaceutical companies, the technology companies, they're coming together to find cure for those new diseases. We have almost like more than 55 million deaths occur globally, cardiovascular being one. So there is a lot of unmet medical needs that we need to find the cure for. And that cure can be, the speed up by using these techniques and using your natural intelligence. So in conclusion, what I want to say, AI has definitely ability to enhance clinical research. It can accelerate pharmaceutical research by helping you as a scientist to analyzing complex data, and possibly helping you to identify new drug candidates. For healthcare, it can also improve healthcare, by bringing patient care through personalized treatment or personalized medicine, or tracking your real-time healthcare data, such as the Apple Research Kit, which has already come up, and it can help you to check your ECG, blood pressure, your parameters, say in a Parkinson's disease. But it also come up with some challenges, and I think one of the speaker I heard saying there are few challenges, where how you use the right type of data. Do you have the right data to analyze? Just like a driverless car can run on a road, but it requires a structured data. So if your roads are not marked with the white lines, your driverless car is not going to work. So you need to have the right type of data in hand before you build up those algorithms. That's number one. Number two, you also need to develop explainable logics. And I forgot the name of the speaker who spoke a couple of in previous sessions, but I think he talked about, when you have to come to a diagnosis, the diagnosis needs to be done by human being. AI can help you to give you various insights, but ultimately that human needs to finalize the diagnosis. And therefore, when you develop any algorithm, it should be explainable, it should be reproducible. And without having domain expertise, AI is not going to help. So that explainable logic, and this is where if you research an article, I think, very recently I saw an article that talk about black box AI, where you develop algorithm, but not necessarily that is reproducible. And I think that's an opportunity as a researcher for us to make AI better. And then two other topics, the ethics and data privacy. If you are touching any personal data, consenting, making sure those patients are aware, and making sure the data privacy protections such as GDPR or 21 CFR compliance are followed to ensure the rights and well-beings of patients are protected always. So yes, there is a huge potential for bringing AI in healthcare, but one needs to be mindful about these challenges and find some solutions. And I have no reason to believe, as a researcher, we can find those solutions and make artificial intelligence more applicable into healthcare research. So with that, I think, this is a very, very quick snapshot. Usually I take this session for almost like 4 hours. I try to finish in 25 minutes. But if there is an opportunity, happy to take any questions. But, if you'd like to know more, feel free to scan, share your feedback, and, happy to address any questions. So with that note, let me pause here and see, once again, thank you for the opportunity, and happy to address any questions if there is a time.
Dear delegates, kindly scan the QR code displayed on the screen and please give your feedback about the session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhushan Patel, for such a magnificent and detailed description about the journey of the artificial intelligence and its application in the health and medical sector. So, uh, can we take one or two questions? Do we have time? Is there any questions for him? Any questions, please? Okay. I think it was beautifully put in place that how artificial intelligence is making its mark and making its impact on the health sector and in the pharmaceutical industry, particularly with the clinical research and even providing patient care, where the application of artificial intelligence is growing, and we have seen that the investment from the pharmaceutical industries, like he has mentioned in his slide, that 60% of the pharmaceutical industries are now using of artificial intelligence at one or any place in their journey of development of the drug, or maybe patient care, or post marketing also. So looking at this, and also I would also like to mention here that the regulatory agencies worldwide, they are getting activated for putting up the guidance paper, or the guidelines, or the regulatory, structured regulatory instructions for developing new drugs and how to take the artificial intelligence application to that. In last 5 to 10 years, there have been more than 150 pharma applications, which includes biopharmaceuticals, and about 50 pharmaceutical applications to US FDA based upon AI data generated into the research, and they are well accepted, and people are moving ahead in that, and the investment, the rise in investment, it shows that there is a great acceptability of the research driven through artificial intelligence. It not only saves your time, but as Mr. Patil has said, that the drug which investment on the drug discovery which is done, and the success rate is quite low, and huge time and money goes into that. So I think this has been told to everyone here in the hall, and I think a student must take care of the points which he has mentioned, that not only the pharmaceutical industry, but also the healthcare sector and post marketing of the drugs. There are a lot of applications based upon artificial intelligence are there, and the students have a lot of scope to go about it, and it's a time to basically nurture yourself, get a good knowledge about it, and maybe in 3 to 5 years, we will see that in India also the application is going to come. Government of India has already put an initiative, put money on that, and there is a paper in place where they want to make artificial intelligence as part of the ongoing research. So I think I must thank Mr. Bhausar Patil for giving us time and giving up this wonderful presentation, which has covered the entire spectrum of the artificial intelligence and what are going to be the challenges, and in future how it is going to be taken up. So thank you very much.
Thank you
I
so
think we
much,
need
sir.
a great round of applause for this wonderful presentation.
Sir, for concluding the session, now I would like to request Dr. Shilpa, Vice Principal, Lloyd Institute of Management and Technology, to felicitate Dr. Rajesh Sharma. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Starting with the panel session 3, I would now like to call Dr. Shilpa to take up the session.
Okay, with starting with panel session 2, where AI stands at the core of innovation across pharma and healthcare, enabling breakthroughs in R&D, clinical trials, manufacturing, and patient monitoring. This session will highlight how AI drives cross-domain synergy, accelerates timelines, and fuels transformative growth across the global health landscape. The topic for discussion today will be on AI, an active driver of innovation across various domains of the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry, which will be moderated by Dr. Neetu Kamra, Professor Analytics and HR and Head Executive Education Program and Center for Data Analytics and AI Initiatives, Lloyd Business School. So may I request Dr. Chitra to please come on stage to welcome our panelists. We're just waiting for the stage to get set up. May I now request Dr. Chitra to please come on stage to invite our panelists. So, may I call upon Ms. Meenal Bhatt, Managing Director, Craftland Consult Private Limited, is a strategic leader with over 22 years of experience across consulting, commercialization, and transformation, with a proven track record of advising Fortune 500 companies, startups, government, and global institutions. Our next panelist on board, Dr. Saurabh Arora, CEO, Arbro Pharmaceuticals Private Limited and President, IPA Delhi State Branch, is a visionary leader and entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in building an integrated health and wellness enterprise encompassing R&D, testing, clinical research, manufacturing, and consumer brands. May we have a big round of applause, please? Our next panelist, I would like to invite Dr. Khalid Raza, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, and Honorary Adjunct Professor at UCSI University, Malaysia. He has over 14 years of teaching and research experience and has published more than 160 peer-reviewed papers. He has been featured in the world's top 2% scientist list from 2022 to 25. Thank you so much, ma'am. The moderator of the session will be Dr. Neetu Kamara. Can we have a round of applause, please? Thank you. So we welcome all of you, and now over to Neetu, ma'am.
So a very good afternoon to all the delegates and dignitaries present here. Yes, we have a more inflow of students. I request you all to get seated fast. We'll start with the second session, which is all about innovation. So what is innovation? So I believe innovation is that particular ingredient which fabricates or brings together the fabrication of civilizations that we as cave dwellers have moved now to space explorers. Innovation is something that is, I just could prelude innovation something like, you have stones and rocks put over and over again. It is all about mind. The same mind can illusion a Taj Mahal or a cathedral of Rome to just pieces of rocks put together. It's all about mindset. New mindsets, new results. On this note, we bring in artificial intelligence into the novice or into the fabrication of innovation through artificial intelligence in order to vibrate as to how it is AI that is liberating innovation or innovation which is actually liberating AI. On this dilemma as to who belongs to whom is something that we will be dwelling together with corporate stalwarts and dignitaries from academia together. I represent the IBM Business Analytics Lab at Lloyd, and we put together a synergy of thoughts today through this panel. So beginning with Meenal, I would like to understand from you, how do you think that you being having a legacy of almost 22 years where you have seen a world which is with AI and without AI, how do you bring it together? What were your challenges in industry to bring together AI in pharmacy? So your journey to understanding AI and now using AI in your corporate world is something that the students and the delegates would like to understand, because you're walking in and through AI projects, which I am aware of. So how and what challenges and what opportunities do you foresee from the world of AI?
Personally has made my life so easy. It has has reduced the time that it takes for any analysis to happen. It's given me the time to think through, because earlier what used to happen is there was data collection, data analysis, reporting, and then insighting. The AI has given us the power to actually, it's doing all the analysis for you, to actually sit and spend time on insights. So the outcomes that happen are quicker, faster, and you applied your brains. Where earlier you used to waste your time in the computations.
So insights and interpretations have become more powerful in terms of time management, which has been made possible by AI.
AI cannot generate those insights yet. AI can very, very easily give me the computations, but the experience that I bring over the past 25 years helps me generate better insights, better than AI, at least right now.
Very rightly said. Moving to Saurabh, if I were to get an understanding of your perspective of, is it AI impacting innovation, or the drive to innovation that is making us adopt AI?
Hello. I'm sitting in a place that's causing the feedback. So very good afternoon, good evening to all. And I see a lot of students here. So I hope you're not looking at your phones. Got their pens. So if we talk about innovation, I always seen and I believe that innovation and real value creation happens at the interface. Different fields of science working together, the industry to the consumer interface, the final step, that's where the value creation happens. When multidisciplinary research happens, we come up with new things. So that interface has always been very interesting. So I'm a pharmaceutics person, so interfacial tension and emulsions and all, even there, all the energy is there at the interface. What AI has done is that now, as an individual who has got expertise only in one field, I have a partner who can help me create those interfaces across different fields. So my AI and ChatGPT, Gemini, Lloyd, whatever I'm working with, it gives me that ability to have access to domain knowledge, which earlier was not possible. Either I had to have a team or consultants or a network and be able to get them all to sit together and think and work on a problem. But now it's in my pocket. So that has a huge implication on innovation. You have access to PhD level expertise on any field in the world in your pocket. It could be marketing, it could be operations, it could be supply chain, it is coding, one of the biggest fields. It could be statistics, you want to talk to a chemistry person, anything in the world, any expert you think of, that expert is in your pocket. So that really has a mind-blowing implication on innovation. It's just about us opening up our minds and reaching out and try and bring to life whatever we want. So you have intelligence on tap. It's like a tap you open and you got intelligence. Now it's up to you how you want to use it, what you want to do with it. So I think it's an amazing time that we are in, and anybody can do anything. We will have one person unicorn companies happening. Agency, the individual desire to create, to work and deliver, and use this tremendous force as a multiplier to innovate. Yeah, that's what it's going to blow up innovation, and we are seeing that happening across fields.
Very true.
Sorry. Moving to Dr. Raza, sir, I would like to understand from you as to innovation and pharma and AI. I would like to understand any particular example that you would like to quote that has further enabled pharmacy to develop to maybe higher stipulated levels because of the involvement of AI. Any that trust AI has given to one particular or many particular domains which we are aware of, but had it not been there, that particular asset of pharma would not have been able to develop. So is there any particular field you feel of pharma could not have developed had AI trust not been there?
First of all, good evening, one and all present here. Thank you for giving me opportunity to have as a panelist in this session. So, as the question has been raised that how AI is actually accelerating the pharma industry, right? So I will just try to quote here with some example like traditional system of healthcare and the modern AI-driven system of a healthcare. So the traditional system of healthcare is reactive in nature, any diagnosis and treatment will start once you have a symptom. Right? So you will collect the data and then analyze, and then you will go for a treatment. And the approach of the treatment is like one fit all model, right? But on the other side, the AI-driven system of healthcare is different. It is proactive in nature, right? And that works on the 4P models. Like the first P is a predictive, second P is called prevention, and then third P is precision and personalized. So here, what we talk about the predictive modeling today, we can see that the AI has brought a very large, revolution, and it's not just only AI. There are many other technologies that are actually boosting AI. Like you can see, the cloud computing has made computational power available, cheaper cost and easily. And the other technologies like big data analytics, like we don't have any problem of storing, big data. So the size of the data can be anything, like all 4Vs and 5Vs models that we have. On the other side, we can see the development of the blockchain technologies, which is, also revolutionizing the healthcare system. We have lots of things like digital twin models, right? And recently we have agentic AI, right? So all are actually boosting the development of more, precise diagnostic system and treatment system. So today, if like another example, we can take of the oncology, right? So today, with the help of the digital twin model, a doctor can develop a computational replica of a real, patient's organ, right, inside a computer, right, and can grow some tumor and give some treatment and take the outcome, right, and in all possibilities of treatment before actually going to administer the treatment in the real life environment, right? So that actually is going to be very much targeted and very high precision, right? Other examples can also be taken, like we have today IoT, Internet of Things, like lots of sensors and all technologies that we have. So IoT is also boosting the AI because AI needs data. AI methods are data driven. So from where we will get the data, right? So there's lots of sensors that we have, like healthcare. In the healthcare, we have lots of wearables that can sense your data in a real time, and those data will be synced on some cloud-based server, and there will be some AI models that will be taking some very precise decision for you that can lead to very early stage diagnosis and some recommendation for a healthcare, right? So what I mean to say that it's not just AI. There are many other related technologies that are coming together hand to hand with the AI, and then it is going to revolutionize the entire healthcare, including the pharma sectors.
So now that we've delved into the fact that AI's impact on pharma has been significant,
Now, my next query to the panelists would be, how much of AI is reliable to be taken into the human lives? How do you detect when you're working on life projects, when you're developing solutions, when you're driving process changes, which are actually impacting human lives? There's a lot of value involved in the kind of work you do. How much of AI can you think is reliable to touch those lives which are so very valuable? When do you say that the threshold is this and beyond this, I will not be able to rely on AI? Is that intuitive? Is it more discretionary? How is it experience? So how do you judge for yourselves when you're taking your final decisions at work in terms of implementation of new drugs, of new maybe trials, clinical trials, etc.? How do you make those decisive decisions relying on AI? AI is data driven, garbage in, garbage out. So it really depends on the data that's fed in to the models that will tell you the reliability. When it comes to reading the scans, it's come quite a big way. When it comes to diagnosis, I will still say there's no validation. Because right now, there's no equity in data. So the data that our models currently are making these decisions on, our Indian ecosystem is not there. Indian patients are not there. The step that has gone towards getting the data in first is our ABDM mission. So it's all our responsibilities actually first to get into that platform, so that for Indian ecosystem these data sets become more relevant. Currently, I will take it with a pinch of salt because it's garbage in. It's not my data set.
So there has to be, when we are working with a solution, we have to we have to look at a risk-based approach, and the more rapid implementation of AI tools is happening where there is a lower risk. So applications like marketing content, creatives, digital communication, where there is no direct implication on patient health, but even there, because of the educational use of this medical content which is going out, we always have human in the loop. So even though it is a low risk, we have teams which are reviewing. So maybe content creation is happening faster, but approval still stays with a qualified person there. So identifying low risk opportunities and implementing it. Another example, like what we're doing in our lab, is that so much of documentation. You have to make so many SOPs, so much of procedural work which you have to do, which is all very critical. And with generative AI, we have a significant improvement in the quality of written communication. I'm sure you all seen some email ekdam perfect ho gaye. Ekdam perfect English, long emails. So that was a challenge for scientists, people in the lab, that okay, we didn't have good written communication. So that has been solved. So again, we've always had a prepared by, checked by, approved by. Can you hear me? Yeah. So now the prepared by is by AI, but you still have a checked by, approved by, two humans are there. So this is a slightly higher risk where procedures and things are being written by AI and then going into the system, which will have an implication on patient health. So we still have that doer checker balance in place. So moving even higher the risk, like if we talk about actual formulations, methods and all. So again, these are iterative, but like in our GAP guidelines, good automation practices guides, wherever it is already documented. So we follow the same principles. It's just that it's even more difficult here because this is not a deterministic automation. Earlier automation was, once you have temperature crossing 50 degrees, it will shut off. Now you are saying you will monitor that the temperature should not go beyond the suitable temperature for the blend. So the AI will think, okay, this blend is of so and so, so this is the highest temperature I can take. It is not deterministic. So things like that are happening. So a risk-based approach to implement and validate it is how we are approaching.
I just would like to add some more points here, like that the AI techniques or AI results are not directly used, and especially those where there is a more risk. So there are various regulatory bodies, right, and they have started releasing some guidelines now. We have guidelines for the European Union, right, related to healthcare and pharma, and also like there are many others. What AI can do is that AI can accelerate the more human intensive task it can reduce. Like the drug development cycle usually takes 10 to 15 years, right? So more human intensive work that we do in phase 1 and phase 2, that can be reduced. But ultimately, whatever drug that you have in your hand has to go through the clinical trials and through the regulatory bodies, right? So it's based on the adoption, right? So in a high risk zone, there are some regulatory bodies who are sitting and they have some guidelines, and you can just accelerate, right? So there is a chances of mitigation, right? As one of the panelists has mentioned that it is created by AI but approved by so the same model work in a high risk zone areas.
Moving to the next thought provocation would be that has AI ever challenged your workplace or the work location or the kind of work that you've been? We've talked about opportunities. Has there ever been a stance where you say, I wish AI was not there? I think AI has interwoven so uh, intricately that it's so difficult to even think about it. I think the very fact that we exclaimed, when I also post, I was exclaimed. So I think it is so intricately symbolized into every part of our life. I think it's so difficult to think not to have AI. So maybe let's keep it as a question to ponder. So it's like, for me personally, it comes as a thought for the children. It's like how we give them we do not give them calculators up to class 12. I wish AI was not there to these young children because I fear it's taking away the ability to think. So you need to have a certain mindset or a certain training where you're thinking yourself and then training the machine, giving a task to the machine. Very rightly said that AI has to be monitored. Anything that you would like to add, sir?
So I see AI being misused in a lot of cases. Last minute you had a deadline, you had to do something. So you just throw it into AI, get some rubbish out of it and send it. That's always when I feel, because now you can tell, looking at it, that this is AI stop. So yes, that's when I wish that I hope people didn't have it and they actually use their brain to do the task.
Very true. As academicians, it's something in and out for us. Yes, sir. Would you like to?
So because I'm academician, right? So I can easily say that today, we are facing lots of difficulties in putting assignments on the students. So you cannot trust. So assignment is made by a student, or but we need to actually, as an academician, we need to devise some kind of method of evaluation, right, that can actually assess both the ability of the student and whether it has been done by AI, right, or others. And there are also, like, we have flag checker, AI content checker. There are other AI tools that can bypass those flag, and that's very difficult, right? And even when I remember, we used to give some unseen problems, right? Some real life problems, unseen. The student will not get on any, solution is not available on any website, right? But those problems can be today. It can be solved by AI. So even if we give unsolved problem, the AI will solve. So it's a matter of concern. We have to ponder on it that how to solve this particular problem of the society. As one of the panelists mentioned, that up to certain age or certain class, we have to ban the uses, right? So I think it's a matter of concern that can be decided how to tackle actually this kind of problem.
Very well. So, my next question would move towards more of the delegates which are young. You being from the industry and academia interface with industry, what do you think is the kind of skill set or the cognitive growth that students need to develop over the period of these 3 to 4 years in order to engage themselves in AI jobs? What could be that particular attitude, that skill set, anything where they can move or train themselves in the next 3 to 4 years, considering that the industry is a major dearth of good skilled manpower in AI with domain knowledge of pharma? So AI and jobs are not different anymore. So that's the way I see it. That it's not. So knowing AI is a must now, because that's what jobs will ask. What my suggestion to children here is like the way the skill lab is provided here. The science and tech, they could be different and live in their own silos before, but now it's become health tech and it will remain health tech. And for us, we need to speak both the languages. We need to be users of AI. And there's another opportunity that is coming our way in terms of research. Do your internships and do those research projects very well, because those are the ones that will get you to think. And the skill set that is needed really is the skill set to think independently of AI while using AI to your. I tell my children, I actually make them use AI, and then make them sit on it, on what are your insights on it. That's important. Don't lose that ever. Very well said. To use AI and not to use AI. That's the crux. So, Saurabh, would you be able to enlighten us?
I think for all the students, anybody who's entering into the career nowadays, is a very tricky time, because AI, like I said, is hitting on the low risk, and low risk is what is usually given to the entry level person. So it is actually their work which is first getting impacted. So they need to be good at it so that they can do better than what can be done by just using AI. So if I talk about from my organization's perspective, I would love to have students who understand pharmacy, who understand the science of it, and can use AI. Even basic tools, being able to generate marketing copy, which is scientifically, to the mark, is a great skill, because that science, what you have learned, using that to make sure what the outcome is. Like I said, human in the loop. So being able to use it and verify what is come out, that's very important. And one very important thing for students is that they need to look at the larger picture. It's not only ChatGPT, it's not only Gemini. How many are using Claude here? Anybody using Claude AI? Nobody's using it. See, that's what enterprises want to use, because it is so good at using Excel sheets, so good at doing data, and so much more than the other two generic models. There are models like Mistral which are specifically designed for data intake and OCR and stuff like that. So do we know about it? How many of you have gone to huggingface.com? Has anybody gone there? Have you seen how many models are there? Specialized models which are getting developed for science, for pharmacy. So put your time into that, and if you think about it, what's the maximum experience in generative AI that experts can have? 2 years, 3 years? It's that new. So you just have to get that 2-3 year experience and you will be the expert to go to. So spend time on YouTube, learn about AI, because it's moving so fast. Every month something new is coming out which is making everything else irrelevant. So your course material will never catch up with it. You have to follow the experts who are doing it, who are developing it, learn from there, learn to use that learning to solve real problems. I'm taking time, but this last bit is important. See, the IT guys who are making much more money than you, they are struggling today because they don't know how to use it. They don't know what problem to solve. Now the coding development anybody can do. It's about identifying the use case. And as a pharmacist, you are the person who has the domain knowledge to identify a use case and build something for it. So embrace that strength. Remember your fundamentals of your pharmacy education and learn how to use AI to solve those problems.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. So would you like to, Dr. Razak?
Just to add some points to it from academic perspective is that now AI has become very essential, right? As there was some time where English was very essential and then computer literacy was very essential. But now today, the same way, AI has become very essential. And we are watching that many school curriculums are being, they are adopting basic basis of AI today, like CBSE and other boards are incorporating AI into the curriculum. AI is a very good thing that we should understand the things behind the AI, not just a user. Rather, we should be able to understand its functionality and how to train a model, how to harness a new model, and how they actually work. So the mechanism should also be very important. But the more uses of the AI, definitely it will impact the cognitive, behavior of the children, right? So there should be some limited uses, but of course for a higher level, like beyond your undergrad, you can be a very good user, but not for solving your assignments, right? So I think, yeah, we should have some limited uses up to curriculum level, up to undergrad level, but for advanced level of real life, application, it must be used.
So on this note, I think we will be taking it as the last discussion in terms of the topic today in this panel. And I would like to thank all the delegates, the panelists here for having taken out time and given very, very wise and very, very factual information which you actually are encountering in your day-to-day practices of industry. It's not about innovation, it's about creativity with innovation that erupts only through the small neurons which are erupting in your minds. And no artificial intelligence can artificially delete it from you. It's you, it's your thought, and it's your different thought that will take many, many generations together with you. On this note, that intelligence cannot be compromised no matter how many machines come in. I thank all of you and I wish the students here can incorporate the right usage in their practices, day-to-day learnings. On this note, I thank the panelists here and I thank all the lovely delegates, especially the youth here who are listening so intently. So thank you all once again and wishing you all a great evening. We now request Dr. Lalit to felicitate our panelists. May sir felicitate Miss Meena Bhatt. Can we have a round of applause, please? Dr. Saurabh Azmi. Can we have a round of applause, please? Dr. Khalid Raza. And the moderator of the session, Dr. Neetu Kanga. Choreograph, please.
you so much. Please take seats downstage. I would now request Dr. Richa to please take up the session further.
Thank you, ma'am. Starting the plenary session 4. The theme of the session is Shaping the Future of Global Pharma Regulations with AI. As AI integrates deeper into pharmaceutical research and manufacturing, regulatory frameworks must evolve in tandem. This session focuses on how AI can aid regulatory compliance, data integrity, and quality assurance worldwide. The dialogue today will help shape a smarter, safer, and globally harmonized future for pharma regulations. So, to detail us more on this, we would like to invite Ms. Gitanjali Pankaj Vector, Vice President and Head of Regulatory Affairs, Shared Service Center, Fresenius Kabi Business Services India Private Limited. The session will be chaired by Professor Kamla Pathak, former Dean and Professor, Faculty of Pharmacy, Uttar Pradesh, University of Medical Sciences, Sefai Etawah, Uttar Pradesh, and Professor Vijay Bhalla, Dean Industry Collaborations and Internship Affairs, SGT University, Gurugram, Haryana. I would now like to invite speaker, chair, and co-chair to please come on the stage. I would request Dr. Ashish Parashar, sir, Professor, Lloyd School of Pharmacy, to please welcome Ms. Gitanjali, Professor Kamla Pathak, and Professor Vijay Bhalla. Everybody, please welcome with a huge round of applause. We would also like to invite Professor Devin Pathak, School of Pharmacy, MYN University, Palwal, and ex-Dean Uttar Pradesh, University of Medical Sciences, Sefai Etawah, UP. So we welcome you on stage.
निकाल के बोल दे कमेंट्री करेंगे कमेंट्री करेंगे इसे निकाल के
Thank you, sir. The session chair, Professor Kamla Pathak, has a teaching and research experience of more than 34 years. She has served as DA Professor, Faculty of Pharmacy, Uttar Pradesh, University of Medical Sciences, Etawah, India, and is actively engaged in research with over 300 publications in journal of international and national repute. Ma'am has handled various research projects and is a recipient of several awards. Professor Pathak has been enlisted in the top 2% Indian scientists in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, 2024, 2025. The session co-chair, Professor Vijay Bhalla, is an alumnus of Delhi University. He has a rich experience of working with Swiss multinational Novartis India Limited for approximately 18 years. Professor Bhalla has a rich experience in developing all 5 departments at SGT College of Pharmacy. Besides chair of various monitoring committees of SGT University, he pioneered pharma skilleuticals and virtual industrial visits. A recipient of multiple excellence awards, he has chaired and organized numerous national conferences and received several research grants. I would now request the session chair to kindly introduce the speaker.
afternoon, everyone. Glad to be the chair of the session in which Ms. Gitanjali Pankaj will be speaking on redefining. Yeah, shaping the future of global pharma regulations with AI. So let me introduce her for Ms. Gitanjali Pankaj Bector is a Vice President and Head of Regulatory Affairs, Shared Services Center at Fresenius Kabi Business Services India Private Limited. With over 25 years of experience in pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. She has been associated with Fresenius Kabi for more than 15 years, where she has led diverse functions including regulatory affairs, business development, and API portfolio management. Prior to this, she held key positions at Dabur Research Foundation, Modi Pharma, and USP. So it's a privilege to have her with us, and I very warmly invite you to present your lecture on shaping the future of global pharma regulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to the session.
So good afternoon, dear students. Just to warm up, just put a suffix CH before AI. क्या बनता है? क्या बनता है? CH before AI. Chai. So AI you will find everywhere. Second, now you put M after. It was a prefix, sorry, and suffix. Now put M after AI. It is now you have AI is there with all machines, men, power, and all type of movements which we carry. So we have to really understand the role what artificial intelligence is going to play in global regulatory affairs. Let's welcome Dr. Gitanjali Pankaj Bector with huge round of applause.
So good evening, everyone. It was supposed to be good afternoon, but good evening now. And first of all, thank you to the Lloyd management for taking up such an important topic for discussion. This is the buzzword, and special thanks to you, Dr. Vandana, and to Dr. Chitra for inviting me for this session. So let's look into how the pharma regulations will evolve with artificial intelligence going forward, and what the industry is doing and what the regulatory agencies are doing on this topic. Very important to understand this aspect. So we will look into the current landscape of global pharma regulations, role of AI in regulatory transformation, AI benefits and opportunities, addressing the challenges like ethical considerations for AI, and also the future of AI in pharma. Let's dig into the first, what is the current landscape of global pharma regulations? So we know that there are, the reference countries like US, Europe, and they are the ones who are driving the entire industry and also the regulations at their side. So FDA, EMA, TGA, Health Canada, these are the main, regulatory bodies who are actually defining how the dossiers are to be submitted or what they can expect and accept with respect to the data and also with respect to the safety of the product. Now, what is exactly needed, right, for the approval process will be related to the new submissions and also the life cycle management. So the new submission means that, we are doing the submission or we are preparing the dossier and submitting to the regulatory authorities for the first time. But what is also important is that are we able to maintain that product in the market, and for that the life cycle management is needed. So the AI is going to play a role in both the phases, the new submissions and the life cycle management, and then also in the pharmacovigilance, safety and the monitoring part of it. Now, looking at a regulatory professional and his role in the industry. So what do you think is a regulatory affairs professional's role in the industry or in the organization? Anybody from the students? Do you know about regulatory affairs, first of all? Yes?
Hello? Mic check करो, mic check करो.
Hello, is it better? Yeah. Okay. So RA professionals, role is basically they are the interface between the organization and the health authorities. So as a RA professional, you should be proficient with respect to the information that you are studying or you are collecting and then submitting to the health authorities. Now what happens is that when you join an organization, now I'm coming to the practical aspect of it, right? When you join an organization from the college, what is the expectation from you? You should be able to understand manufacturing. You should be able to understand the chemistry. You should be able to understand the clinical aspect of it. So just imagine how much information you are expected to collate and also comprehend, right? Do you think that this is going to be easy? No. So it's not only collection of documents. You know how regulatory affairs was perceived earlier was that we are going to just collect the documents, put together in a dossier and submit to the authorities. But it is far more than that, right? Also now once you have the dossier ready, you are submitting to the authorities. It is obvious that the authorities, will have some questions for you. So what you expect is the deficiency letters. Now what happens? The deficiency letter will make you work further or go into further depth of the dossier to really be able to answer the questions that are coming from the authorities. Now, then what happens? You are able to answer and you get approval. But to maintain the product in the market, you have to ensure that we are cost competent. In order to ensure that we are cost competent, you also have to make sure that the product is, if the product evolution happens in such a way that you are able to maintain the supplies of the product in the market. You are able to compete with the other competitors with respect to price and quality, right? So you continuously have to make a lot of changes in the dossier, and that is called the life cycle management. Now what happens, you're a generic industry and then, you have the reference product in the market. They will do some tricks, right? The innovators will always do some tricks with respect to data, with respect to their formulation, with respect to, what maybe change in the dosage form, tweaking this way or that way, and to again generate data. And again, as a part of the generic company, right, you will have to follow the innovator. You cannot just ignore the innovator. Again, you are now, going to comprehend the data or generate the data in such a way that you are able to match the competitor, right? Or you're able to match the innovator. That's how a regulatory affairs professional's life looks like. So do you think that AI can play a role here? Yes, no. It's a very complex, function. So AI definitely can help and can support. But can it replace RA profession? Can it replace a RA professional? Answer would be yes and no both. Not immediately, but going forward, there is a possibility that the RA professionals will be replaced by AI. That's a very big statement that I'm saying. So if you currently have a team size of 50 for RA, then, going forward, maybe 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, 10 years down the line, once you have the AI models available, once you have the AI support available, once you have the AI assistance available at your side, there is a possibility that the teams will be shrunk, right? So then what kind of competencies, will help you survive in the industry? Knowledge of AI, definitely, right? And also upgradation of your own knowledge, right? Because now what happens is that, the simple coding job is done by ChatGPT. Similarly, simple dossier sections will be done by the AI assistants. Now, once the dossier has been written, right, then, we also had this discussion in the previous session that there will be a reviewer and there will be an approver. Do you think a junior person with little knowledge can approve or review the section? Definitely no, right? So we were also talking about, writing an email. Earlier, writing an email was supposed to be a skill or talent which only a few had. Now everybody looks like an Oxford graduate, right? So everybody is able to write a good mail. But then, you know, the time that you spent earlier in writing a good mail was like maybe 60 minutes, 45 minutes. But today you are able to generate, I would say sometimes a good mail, sometimes a crappy mail in 5 minutes. Then you make some adjustments in that mail, right? And my picking up the, example of an email is because it is very easy to correlate with the emails, right? Because we are all writing emails. Then what happens is that you spend little more time to make it as per your requirement. The AI will generate the email as per the tool's understanding. Correct? Now you say that, okay, you know, by reading the mail, I know that this is not coming from you. But let me tell you, we also have tools now which are called AI companions or AI assistants, which can write the email in my style. I just have to train that. I just have to give few examples, maybe 5 emails, 10 emails from the past saying that this is my way of writing, this is how I put my English together, right? So can you generate the email in my style? And it is able to generate. Now what happens? 60 minutes, 5 minutes you spent in writing the mail. Now you have, 55 minutes at your side. I would say that please utilize that time to increase your competency, to enhance your learning. That is the most important thing. We are using AI to make the assignments. We are using AI to write the assignments. Is it right? Wrong? I would say it's okay, right? I do not have a very strong opinion or very negative opinion about it. But when you've done the assignment using AI, make sure you know every word of it. Make sure that it is not hallucinating. Make sure that it is not giving you the wrong inputs. Right? There was a time when ChatGPT, if it was asked a question, how many R's are there in a strawberry? It gave the wrong answer. Now it has been corrected. So that was the level of hallucination that AI was doing. But now, like last 6 months, we see that, or I would say, last 1 year, we see there is a lot of advancement in how the AI is developing. And this is going to happen. Maybe next 6 months are going to be even more evolutionary, right? We can expect that. But please do not think that just using ChatGPT is enhancing your skills. Or using a particular tool for making presentation is enhancing your skills. No, it is only amplifying certain level of your skill set. What is most important is that you use this time that you gain by using this AI tools to increase your understanding, to increase your knowledge. Right? Okay. Of course, the challenges that we have when we are, submitting dossier to the regulatory agencies is that if there are 15 markets, I have to update my dossier or, adapt my dossier in 15 different ways because of the simple reason that the harmonization is not there in the regulatory requirements. And of course, cultural and economic environmental differences across different countries also forces me to adapt my dossier accordingly. For example, a vial dosage form may be acceptable, in majority of countries, but if I have a PFS, I know that I can do the submission of a pre-filled syringe only in US and Europe because simple reason that there only the patient can give me the enhanced price. It cannot go to, a country in Africa, and it cannot be, basically used by somebody in Africa. The another topic that comes, when we are talking about the pharma regulations is the monitoring and pharmacovigilance. So submission of dossier with the right data to the authority is one, then getting approval from the authority is another. Then the most important aspect that comes into being, which many regulated markets are very particular about, is monitoring and intelligence. For example, if there is, a safety alert, we should be able to first of all collect that safety alert and then take the action. So there as well, the AI will play a very important role. We have to make all efforts to ensure that we stay compliant. We have to ensure that we are in not delaying the safety updates as needed by the regulatory agencies. So how is AI basically driving the regulatory landscape? Let's say we are developing AI tools which will help in compilation of the dossier, right? We have AI tools which will help in the monitoring and intelligence. If you look at the product phases, there is when we are picking up a new product, the first phase is where we start the development activities. goes, right? First, we check the feasibility of the product, then we start the development activities, then we do a tech transfer to the pharmaceutical manufacturing site. And then, we compile the dossier, then we say we come to the life cycle management and then regulatory intelligence and monitoring. And where can AI play a role? AI can play a role at each phase. We have AI use cases at our site, which are for tech transfer. So which means that if there is a stability protocol to be prepared for a particular therapeutic category or a particular dosage form, by just giving a prompt, we are able to generate the stability protocol. Then of course it needs a check. Fine. Then we have dossier compilation AI tools. For a simple dossier, I would not say very complex dossiers, the time required or the number of man hours required for generation is 1200 hours, which means that we will take about 6 months to compile one dossier by one person. Now, what advantage can we get if we are using the AI assistants? Suppose, for a particular section, I'm taking 200 hours, and if I'm using an AI assistant, it can generate that section in 2 hours. That's the advantage, right? Now, what is my role? Because the dossier is getting generated. But are we sure that the dossier that has been generated by AI is 100% accurate? No. We have not reached a stage where we can say that the dossier generated by AI is 100% accurate. So then what is the KPI? Right? Is 80% okay? Is 70% okay? Is 25% okay? Just imagine that if you had a subordinate or if your peer is compiling a particular assignment for you, and if he's doing 80% right job, would you accept that? Yes, happily, right? And then make corrections in that and bring it to 100%. But if the same document was only 25% correct, what would you say? I can do it myself. Why should I take your help, right? So same is the case with AI assistants. So currently, the kind of accuracy that we have by using the AI assistant is 50 to 60%, but we have to reach the 80% level at least to be confident that yes, I can use the AI assistant, which will help me amplify my job. And then I can make corrections and also do the strategic updates in my dossier before it can be submitted. So time definitely is going to be saved, but only if the accuracy is there. Then, is this a GMP topic? Is dossier compilation a GMP topic for the health authorities? Currently, I would say not. Only if their human intervention is still there. So our expectation is that going forward, 70% job will be done by AI, and 30% job will still be required. Will require human intervention. That is the kind of interaction that we are expecting as of now. Then coming to safety signal detection, here as well, we have tools available which can monitor. So currently what we do, or in the past what we were doing is like if we have 70 different countries, which we have to actually screen. So we were doing the screening manually to go and check if there are any safety signals, if there are any updates by the innovative product. So this is a manual job requiring at least 10 to 12 people to only screen and to check the information that is available on different websites. And just imagine going to 70 websites and all websites may not be in English. So that means that some level of translation is also expected. Now with the tools available, we can do this scraping. So 70 sites can be scraped each day, provided we give the tool the keywords. So if I have 1500 products at Fresenius, I can give my 1500 products to the AI tool, and it can scrape each website for any alerts or any updates and get back to us. So we have a consolidated information available. Then my role is to screen it and make sure that I do the as updates are required, maybe a safety update, maybe a variation, maybe a supplement to the FDA. What if the AI tool is not performing 100%? It's a compliance tool. There, my responsibility as an R&D professional is still there, or as a pharmacovigilance professional is still there to make sure that I am 100% able to capture the signals. There is no scope of making it 90% or making it 95%. So we are still not there where we can say that regulatory intelligence and monitoring can be taken up by AI completely, right? And the second, the place or second aspect that where we are using, these AI tools is to also scrape the websites for any guideline update. There you can still have some scope of missing the information, but again, if there is an important guideline, I have to implement that important guideline, right? And there are defined timelines. It cannot be like, I come to know about this guideline when the timeline implementation is already passed. No, I cannot do that, right? So this is how, we are trying to use AI in the industry for different aspects, different phases of regulatory, aspects. But we are still not there where we can say that it can be fully implemented. But it's not like it cannot happen tomorrow, because each and every regulatory professional, is being asked to see how AI can be implemented, how the co-pilot can be implemented, how we can use ChatGPT. But again, very important, when we are in the professional or the organizational, arena, we have to use only the approved or the validated tools from the organization. It's not like, we can use Perplexity for any of the dossier writing. We cannot afford to expose our data to the global, to the that is again, data integrity again is a very important topic. I have to protect my IP. I cannot expose it to the world. So again, we have to really work within the given framework. We cannot go beyond that. Risk prediction, definitely predictive models will help assess the potential risk, and this is based on the evidence. So as I said, there are automation of possibilities, and we have AI document generation, AI assistants or models available. We have some available for compliance topics, and also the error minimization. Now coming to error minimization, what happens is that suppose you have some data or some numbers coming from the manufacturing side. Now what you're doing currently is that you're manually putting that in the template given by FDA. But the AI assistant, what it is able to do is that it is able to transcribe the information or the numbers from the source document to the template. And while we are developing these AI systems, what is needed? We said data is needed, and the data is available, right? So each organization has a data available. Now the challenge is that suppose I am asking an external vendor to develop the AI tool for myself, right, for my organization. That means I have to share my data with the external vendor. Again, the IP comes into play. That is why we are trying to develop solutions in-house. And also in case we are using some suppliers or vendors from outside, we have to have very strong agreements with them to protect our data. So there, what we have to do is, so again, data plays a very important role. We have to train the tool with the right data to get the right output. If you're not giving if the input is not good, then the output is not good as well. I had a very interesting information just a few days back. We said, that if a human being is studying each day of his life, how many words he or she will be able to read? Any guesses? 8 billion words is what you can read in your lifetime. And how much data are we giving to the AI model to get itself trained? 9 trillion data sets in 1 month. Can we match? We cannot match, right? So AI is not just using ChatGPT or using Perplexity. AI is much more than that. And once you have the tools available and the right tools, they will give you the output as needed. But again, I will underline this point again and again. Please upgrade your skill sets, not only with respect to AI, but with respect to your core knowledge. Being a pharmaceutical professional myself, I'm not expected to make an AI tool, right? But I'm expected that whatever comes from the AI tool or AI assistant or the AI model, I am able to comprehend. I am able to check. I'm able to say that this is correct. So the role of SMEs, subject matter experts, is going to get enhanced in future. So please make sure when you're using, when you're moving from the, the university to the organization, you will have to make sure and make yourself so proficient that you are able to fit into those roles. Right? Don't panic. there is no need to panic, but it is, a word of caution, because we are in the corporate and we know that what is the requirement, and we know, like, what are the expectations that we have from the future generations, and that's why, we are bringing this to you. And as you said, enhancing pharmacovigilance and safety monitoring is again, where AI will play a very important role. Real-time data monitoring, social media signal analysis, and proactive risk management. I've covered most of topics in my talk, so I just skip the slides. So what is the advantage of having AI tools? Of course, we said it will help in transcription, it will help reduce the time needed to compile, it will help in minimizing the errors if used in the right way. And of course, then the core teams are able to have time at their side to be more innovative and be more creative. It will help accelerate compliance, no doubt in that. It will help in reduction of repetitive tasks. Repetitive tasks also means that the junior level jobs will not be there because the AI is taking care of the repetitive tasks. And also, early threat detection, timely intervention, enhanced drug safety, as I said, will be also where the AI will be able to play an important role. Is AI able to accelerate the drug dose? So is AI able to accelerate the drug review and approval process? Yes. So I will give you just I just take last 5 minutes to wrap up. We have seen that the regulatory agencies are also using AI for review of the dossiers that we are submitting. Earlier, maybe approval of one dossier took like 1 year, right? But now we see that this is happening in 8 months. This is happening in 10 months. Similarly, when we gave the packages, the agencies came back to us in 30 days. Now they're able to come back in 2 days. So what is so dramatic, that is happening at this side? I'm definite that they're using the AI. They are faster than the industry. This last point, and then we'll wrap up. So we have to ensure that our data remains secure. That's one important point. So when you're using ChatGPT, you are actually exposing your entire data to the web, right? So you have to be careful when you're using it for private purposes. The information will be used by ChatGPT. And you have to make sure data protection. This is a big topic in Europe, and since we are, Presimis is a European company, we are very particular about the data protection aspects as well. And this is true for each and every organization. And of course, building the trust in AI, you have to have robust security measures as well. I think with this, I can say, okay, there are more slides, but we don't have time to cover it. So much, ma'am. May I now request Bhala sir, the co-chair of the session, to conclude the session briefly in 1 to 2 lines.
First of all, my sincere appreciation and compliments to Gitanjali Pankaj for giving such a beautiful insight on global regulatory framework, and she has definitely covered all the valid points. But at the same time, I understand that I would like to put forth that there are some challenges like global regulatory framework. There is a lot of variations. Each country has a different global regulatory framework, and then these global disparity would definitely calls for data integrity, definitely, and privacy, which Gitanjali has talked about, and more so we have to definitely devise a tool of artificial intelligence with very strong data validation. Until unless we don't have a pure data validation, accuracy of data validation, then definitely even scanning a dossier would also become very difficult. And yes, we don't have a very regulated. Thank you very much, Gitanjali, for a wonderful insight on the, and thank you very much, Dr. Kamlapata, the chair of this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request Professor Kamla Mathur, chair of the session, to please sum up the session briefly.
I want to especially talk to the students. Since morning you are listening about AI, and in this auditorium, in this hall, the beauty is that there are people of varying age who are all trying to learn AI. And we started with Dr. Vandana stating about Karthik and Ganesh. There also she implicated AI. और सुबह से यही हो रहा है कि इस फील्ड में AI है, इस फील्ड में रिसर्च में, एकेडमिक्स में, and now we are on the regulatory decision कि regulatory में भी use हो सकता है. But the point is कि AI actually है क्या? अगर उसको हम summarize करें, तो it is fast, it is free of errors, but it has its own risks. ठीक है, अब रिस्क एआई के हमें पता नहीं है अभी, बिकॉज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हमारी भाषा बोल रहा है. वॉट एवर वी आर टेलिंग, इट इज गिविंग द आउटपुट इन द सेम लैंग्वेज व्हाट वी आर फीडिंग टू इट. द डे artificial intelligence develops its own language, the risk starts. So as long as we are learning AI, we are comfortable with AI, everything is okay. Likewise, regulatory में भी मुझे जो समझ में आया है, it is all that you are trying to identify the risk at the early age, fast कर रहे हैं प्रोसेस को, और clean data. सबसे ज़्यादा important है कि जो डाटा फीड कर रहे हैं AI में, वो that should be very clean. तो वहाँ तो humans की जरूरत है. तो it is not that the world will entirely depend on artificial intelligence. अगर हम AI बहुत ज़्यादा भी यूज करेंगे तो humanize तो हमें करना ही पड़ेगा. We need human intelligence to run AI. So we'll live with it and we'll be champions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. May I now request the chair and co-chair to felicitate Ms. Gitanjali.
Everyone, I can pick up the mic. So yes, at the moment the regulatory authorities are not saying that do not use AI. They are fine with the AI as long as it is validated. So if the output we know is consistent, we can use AI. But at the same time, like for process generation in particular, the human intervention is still needed. So it is like I'm going to sign the letter and the application form saying that I have reviewed the document and I'm responsible for the data. So as long as somebody is responsible for it, it is acceptable. So in case there are some discrepancies, it is my responsibility and not AI, because I'm not saying that this is generated by AI. It is not signed by AI. So this is one aspect. It is acceptable. And there are many, I would say, big organizations which are already using, especially the innovators, because the data that they have to use for generation of those is very huge. Like, it takes sometimes even 3 to 4 years to compile a dossier for an innovator. Whereas for a generics, it is 6 months. So the amount of data sets that they have to manage. And secondly, this parallel filing concept that we have. So majority of industry what it does is they first submit the dossier to US and then and then the ROW rollouts, the rest of the world market rollout, it happens over a period of 10 to 14 years. Now there are companies, what they are trying to do is they are trying to put all the doses together, say 40 doses together, and do a parallel solution, meaning that they will submit to the US, they will submit to now there are some modifications needed, and this modification is possible only because of AI. Because if force for this compilation of applications, I will need to come to 100, and organization will use such resources. Yes. Yeah. So the error that I have seen, I have seen where submissions, then came the CTD, and then we were taking green paper submissions. We used to send truckloads of documents to the regulatory agencies and making couriers and sending it overnight. This was the kind of things we were managing. But today it is like the CTD and shipping it to the portals to the health authorities. So that is a kind of transformation we've seen. And the second question was data protection. Again, data protection is a very tricky topic, the most challenging topic, and therefore, for example, if there is an external solution available, I cannot use it unless until I have the right guardrails. So I have to make sure that the agreements are there and they are not able to use that data from another company. That's one aspect. Secondly, also the AI itself starts replicating the information and maybe if there are two organizations. Yes. So again, they have to introduce the right guardrails to make sure that my data does not go to the second organization, even if the solution is coming from the
so much. May I now request the chair and co-chair to felicitate Ms. Gitanjali. Round of applause, please. Applause, please. Can we have a round of applause, everybody? For a group of so much, ma'am, sir. Well, starting with the distinguished leadership session, drug discovery is entering an era where AI doesn't just predict, it learns, unlearns, and redefines. This session explores the exciting concept of reverse engineering and reverse translation through AI, transforming failures into feedback and data into discovery. It's a leap beyond conventional research into the future of intelligent design. To detail us about this, I would like to invite Professor Ramesh Kumar Goyal, former Vice Chancellor, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University, Delhi. Then the session will be chaired by Mr. Gurmeet Singh. I would request sir to please wait for the stage. So the session will be chaired by Mr. Gurmeet Singh, Director, Pharma Networks, New Delhi, and Business Development Manager, Asia AppCap. So you may please. May I request Dr. Chitra to please welcome Professor Ramesh Kumar Goyal. Can we have a round of applause, please? I'd like to welcome Mr. Gurmeet Singh. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you so much. The session chair, Mr. Gurmeet Singh, is the Director of Pharma Networks, New Delhi, and Business Development Manager, Asia Africa. Is a seasoned pharmaceutical industry professional with over 3 decades of experience spanning global sourcing, business development, and supply chain leadership. His research career includes leadership roles at leading pharma companies. A recognized thought leader, he has been an invited speaker at multiple international pharma conferences. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I would request the session chair to please introduce the speaker of the session.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the distinguished speaker, Professor Ramesh Kumar Goyal, former Vice Chancellor, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University, New Delhi. Professor Ramesh K. Goyal was the Vice Chancellor, Delhi Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research University from 2016 to 2024 and Maharaja Sayaji Rao University of Baroda from 2008 to 2011. In 2019, he was conferred with the honorary professorship at Stavropol State Medical University, Russia, and the distinguished professor at UCSI University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Sir has been the listed top 2% scientists of the world and the recipient of over 80 awards. Dr. Goyal was a lead member for the discovery of formulation for COVID patients that has been recently approved by the central government ministry in India. Welcome, Professor Ramesh Kumar Goyal.
Thank you. Gurmeet Singh ji. I am thankful to Dr. Vandana Shetty, Dr. Chitra, management for inviting me and giving me this chance to talk about on the topic which I feel may be very difficult also. But at the same time, let me tell you this part. Reverse engineering, it is my own creation. Nothing like that. Another thing which I would like to tell is that I am going to speak on AI. I never had any formal training, education, or anything like that in my life. Even for the computers, I never had any formal training. Even for IT, I never had any training or computer or certificate course or like that. And same thing goes true for AI. So you can imagine how difficult it will be before the speakers like previous speaker itself, Gitanjali Pandey. She has been in this field, did directly the work, and now I am without any work I'm trying to tell. So that's why you see the topic from AI or beyond AI. And then the word starts from the reverse. So I am going in a reverse way now. Because it is 70 years old person, if you think of that I will be very AI expert, I don't think it will be a myth. So I don't know how you are going to take me. Well, I have divided this talk into 6 parts. I will try to be brief. That complexities of AI and ANN. Now let me tell you, whole day you have been listening about AI and AI. And to most of you, you may be feeling it is something very new which has come. Somebody told, okay, in 2013 came or something, but concept. But truly speaking, in last 2-3 years, it has picked up more. But I am going to tell you and that it is a different, and then I will go further. I will not take this time. Again, I am going in a reverse way. Normally, people acknowledge in the end. I am acknowledging right now. This acknowledgement. And the reason for it is this Mr. Jignesh Patel, Dr. Jignesh Patel. He was the one in 2004. He had a PhD project using AMN. And Then he joined Sun Pharma. I should not have mentioned the companies, but okay. He had various companies, Bibcure and other things. And he told me that he was involved in over 500 new molecule formulations. I'll come to that part also, but these two papers of 2006 or 5 indicate that yes, I'm not bluffing, it is a correct thing. We did the work at that time. So I really want to acknowledge him that he took me in 2006. So I'm going in the reverse way. But how the work, I'm going to give directly the examples where AI has, so-called AI has helped. I don't think I use any time this word AI. So it is little confusing. That's why I divided my talk. Otherwise, I never start with these are the topics of my presentation. So anyway, I want to thank list of people whose work, these are all my PhD students or mentors or associates with whom the work was done in that manner. Okay. Well, I'm a pharmacologist basically, so always had a dream that I will bring some new drug. And after 40 years, in 2021, I can say I could bring out a drug which went into the market. So it was when I took 40 years and always dreaming, you can imagine, and that's what in Australia, he's a man of burn and rent hypothesis. I don't know autonomic nervous system. How many of you have learned? That Burn, in his autobiography, mentions that he should have been an innovator for new drug development. But he said that no, although I could not do it, if I get second life, I may try to do it. But I have done it as a hobby, or my whole research has been like a thing which I have enjoyed. So am I. I am also enjoying it. I have enjoyed. But it's a long period, 46 years of experience I have seen, and then whole world has seen different phases coming up. Whether it is a source of drug, the red ones, whether it is the diagnostic methods, time to time, within 20, 30 years, everything changes. And even the preventive measures, you can see that how it has been fast moving. If I go back to history, pharmacology, how it got evolved. Pharmacology, we used to say, is a new subject. And it has evolved in its own way. Just finding out the mechanism of action. From there, the pharmacology started, whether it was separated from materia medica or came out from the medicine. But it is that understanding the mechanisms of action. And classical pharmacologists used to be there. You can see up to 40s, 60s. And then when I started my career, I started in 70s. So you can see that 80s, the whole four revolutions have come in that period. And today when I look pharmacology, I feel that in pharmacology, many things got added. Associated thing in the drug discovery, combination of combinatorial chemistry, high throughput scaling, synthesis, then the biotechnology, and then precision medicine, everything has come. And if you see the pictures, it's so complex. Pharmacology subject also became very complex. And the drug discovery process, I think you might have heard repeatedly how drug discovery has been, target identification. If somebody gets a new target, he is very happy. The company is very happy. And then what? How much time it goes? It's a very, very complex matter. We used to do, the PMS used to synthesize, analysis was done. I will not go into again those intricacies, but truly speaking, currently, everybody looks at the disease first, target first, and start the work. Simple. In 3 lines only for the students or it's very simple. But processes are very complex. So what you need is integration. In fact, in China, they use the term network pharmacology. It is used. Then something like meta-analysis. I don't know how meta-analysis is doing. When we want to cut down the time, cut short the time of drug discovery, sometimes meta-analysis also helps. I don't know the regulatory affairs, Madam Gitanjali, when she was talking, I was feeling that yes, it can be by meta-analysis also you can cut short time. Meta-analysis will give many things. And just about a week before I was in Czech, there was a conference. One of the speakers told cancer and the cardiovascular complications. Patient previously, because of anti-cancer drug, oxidative stress like adriamycin, and then there will be cardiomyopathy. But what she presented was different. The patient may be treated with the drug, anti-cancer drug, but the associated cardiovascular complications, they make the patient die. Like there was a time when new drug, cardiac toxicity was common. And then regulatory affairs, they introduced the QT interval. I think those who are in the industry, they will be knowing that part. It became compulsory for everybody to report about that. Now, she was trying to tell that ultimately anti-cancer drugs, they are supposed to act at the VEGF. Those who are aware of the anti-cancer drug treatment, VEGF. And if that is to be controlled, they may be leading to, obviously, cardiovascular complications. What I'm trying to say, that AI is networking, rather. In a way, it is a networking. So these complex mechanisms are to be networked. They have to be integrated, leading to a meaningful outcome. Well, so all these things, one of the simplest things which came out was structure-activity relationship. I think in the undergraduate level itself, we show that structure-activity relationship. Addition of particular functional group or something, it makes a difference. And you can predict at that time. Suppose I still remember simple SAR of the structure-activity relationship of sympathomimetic. If you remove 2 OH from the catechol ring, it becomes more CNS effects. Very simple. So like that for every, in those days, I am talking of the 70s, we used to learn that. From the structure-activity relationship, we developed quantitative structure-activity relationship. And from there started coming in so-called molecular docking and all so many things. Am I right, sir? I think, is it clear or not? It's very simple. But basically that was important. Now, today when I see pharmacologists, next generation pharmacologists, they are all biotechnologists. See, initially the Nobel Prize or they are the known figures of the pharmacologists. Forget about the Rudolf Buckley and all that, about the history, but the receptor theory still remains the same. And this is another thing, Ruffalo, who discovers cyclic MP and all that. But today, every year, the Nobel Prize is going to the biotechnologists. So pharmacologists have already lost their identity. It is something like that now. Whom to call pharmacologists? Well, AI has come. It is nothing but the wherever technology and everywhere. Just like there was a time of MBA, everything is management. Management without accounts, is it possible? No. So same thing. Ultimately, the data science came from computers. So computer science, IT, and then it went into, today we are calling it sort of AI. But so everywhere it will be, whether it is a new drug development, new drug strategy, whether it is a telesurgery, telemedicine, anything you can talk. Engineering point of view also, I still remember a story one cardiologist told that there will be a time, I'm talking of 1998, he was talking, that there will be an ATM card we are having. So there will be something like a health card, wherein your genome is there, and you punch what are the symptoms, and a prescription will come out. Yes, it is possible. Who knows? Like replacing AI, AI will replace doctor. I don't know. But certainly, to some extent, this thing I already started. That doctors are more dependent on the reports, pathological reports, the diagnostic reports. Okay. Now, one of the important questions which I asked to this person, it was that he was giving something on artificial intelligence. And he's telling that yes, we found that in 2004 we did this ANN and we used it. And it is simply, instead of brain, you are using brain. So, artificial networking, the word came because synapses, these neuronal network. So that was used. So in fact, AI came out from that only. They might have done something. So we had all these papers at that time. And these papers we could publish and they really accepted. Again, I will not go. On one side, brain does that mathematics, and other side, computers do the mathematics. But knowing this AN or artificial intelligence, can it be so simple to get new drug discovery? Answer is definitely. Is it really think? Computer can really think? So we have to understand the brain also. We have to understand the basic science, as many of the previous speakers have told. Ultimately, the end result, everybody wants to conclude that way. Well, so I will like to, I don't want to repeat everything, but certainly I want to compare this. Brain versus AI. We know both are complex, but it's a natural structure and the other one is ordered. And the difference remains that, okay, it depends on what layer of you are. So the output data will come on. Working speed, yes, it is faster, but it is very high with the AI. That is for sure. Mathematical calculations, again, AI can do better. So upper part, first part shows that yes, AI can do better than even the brain. But, and then fatigue also. Brain can get fatigue, but computers will not get fatigue. Intelligence is only the brain which is having, not the AI. AI will all depend what has been fed to it, what programming you have done, what data you have entered, with what logic you have entered. So all these things, it may have unlimited memory, unlimited efficiency, but remember, input is important. For brain, input is not that. You can think of it. So like that, like this is a very simple example. In the computer, if you put green is yellow, yellow is red, you then what is the color of grass which was green? The computer answer may be black also. But a human brain will never say black. It will say green. So AI has the importance. Networking. Ultimately, it is a sort of a networking pharmacology, integrating pharmacology. But ultimately, the experience matter. One who is involved in regulatory affairs, when in industry, they only will know how you can go ahead. So as I told, I have been involved in drug discovery, but I cannot claim that I started using AI from 2000 or earlier than that. But indirectly, I found to know I was using. So AI has its application because now we have come up with a receptor. Previously, receptor was I mean, it was defined in one of the clerk's book. The receptor is like a beautiful lady to whom pharmacologists have written a number of letters, and in response to the replies, he has prepared a figure of it. But later it was found that no, it is a well-defined protein now. So because of that, now it is possible to design drugs faster. So you can theoretically say that yes, you can do this, you can analyze better NMR, you can analyze all these things, and then finally you can say, but basically the difference between AI and the brain remains that yes, there is a natural science versus formal science. And you need the knowledge. So knowledge of disease, knowledge of medicine, knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of possible consequences. All this has to come. Whereas in formal science, you may have knowledge, you can compile, but analysis finally has to be from the natural side. So you cannot see formally those processes. Here you are seeing the form. So without AI, you see what is actually happening. Like in the morning, Dr. Patrawale told, yes, you can have those ligands and all that. But yes, it can make the process fast. But ultimately, unless you do it, you cannot. That is what is important. And so you have to understand each and every physiology, chemistry, and you have to apply that in the networking form. Then only you can get the results. So my first conclusion as far as this integration is that it is not simple to use AI, and you have to understand properly the physiology, pharmacology, pathology, medicine, clinical, everything. Then only you can use properly AI. This is my first thing. Now coming to the second part, I'm just giving now the rest. I'm giving one example where I was successful. And I feel that I might have used it was sort of AI only. What happened? I was fond of these structure activity relationships. So cholinesterase, we can make out why one cholinesterase is anticholinesterase is more long lasting, other is not. All these things I could understand at that level. And if I had been more expert of chemistry, I might have designed more compounds. And like same thing I told about the sympathomimide. These are my favorites. Now we had one compound. It was published as hyperlipidemic. It was developed by the Cadila Labs. Beautiful publication, but it was not gone further. And one of the students was doing its mechanism of action. That was the task given properly. Not simply lowering the lipid, but what was the task given, how it affects, what is the mechanism. Now, in that process, what happened? It was Cadila, they wanted to have regulatory, so they wanted to have pharmacokinetics done. In dogs, now one of my students injected that drug, or dog immediately died. It was a beagle dog costing $1,000. 2, 3 dogs died. Then we decided not to pursue. And to our surprise, if the drug is given intravenously, it is not effective with rats. The rats were not dying, but intravenous it was not effective. It was effective orally only. So from that, we did more experiments and simply found that drug is acting only at the enterohepatic circulation, nothing else. Azitamide type. And the drug could be done. I had ignored, forgotten, but after 20 years, I got one paper which indicated that yes, one company is developing such compounds. So what I'm trying to tell, AI, no doubt it is telling, but ultimately the innovation has to come from it. Okay, so what happens is that I asked this student who was involved in the industry, how many molecules you? He said, yes, we could get 500 plus. But out of them, how many could reach to the commercial level? Answer was maybe 1 or 2 are still there. Only 10 could reach in the clinical phase. Now he used AI, he used ANN, everything was used and still it could not be done. And it is a story for everyone. I mean, if you talk of any pharma industry, how many companies could really come out with a molecule which could go into the market? Like, except for the Zydus which came out. So what is the reason then? They are not using AI? They are using AI. They are not using all letters? They are using letters. And they are highly intellectual. So my conclusion is that the base of the technology, base of AI is either just your simple computer or the basic science which you are having, basic pharmacology which is there. And to overcome the problems of fatigue and of brain, capacity of brain, all these things we have to think in a different. So AI can help in. So it is a complementary and facilitator, and that two three speakers during daytime clearly specified. So it is to be understood that. So this is my second. Now what happens? I was actually 10 days before I was in China, complementary medicine, and in my first half of life, I never tried to use the herbal drugs or that. And somehow when I started, it was interesting. And after attending that conference in China, they had a special issue of Chinese traditional medicine. There, their president Jinping has told to apply AI properly. I salute that also, because this is something which we are supposed to think also. I have been attending this herbal conference of traditional medicine. I have been telling why to listen to US. Herbal medicine or traditional medicine is a wealth of the Asian subcontinent. We should be leader to tell this should be the regulatory rules of life. Why we have to listen to them? And let me tell you, China, those who are industry, they don't care. They say that, for us, Chinese patent is important. If I talk to here, even the Minister of Higher Education people will say, no, Indian patent has no value. They are only granting us. It is necessary that US patent, yes, it has its own value in their country or like that, but we have to value that. Well, anyway, I will come to this part. So I went back. So I used to consider why not to apply AI in the, I mean, I'm thinking, did I apply AI in this? Because herbal drugs, when we started, I became at that time in touch with the Dr. Ashok Vedde, very well known Dr. Mashelkar, Dr. So I was in touch. So they gave a point the term reverse pharmacology. It attracted me. But reverse pharmacology means believing what is written in the text, you do clinical trials first and then go to the top. Yes, we were doing that, and it is a faster approach. I will not go over to the concept of reverse pharmacology. Trial first and then go to the pharmacology. That was the main. And simultaneously, I have been working for the diabetic cardiomyopathy. So I was always searching. I used to tell so many activities, but even after 40 years, the true drug for a single drug, authentic drug for diabetic cardiomyopathy is still not up. We are still relying on anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive, anti-hyperlipid to see the diabetic cardiomyopathy. Now, incidentally, when I worked for the first time to my student, this plant, anti-electrolyte, it was almost 14 years of the work. Finally, we had a clinical trial done. And in the clinical trial, we showed that it is effective in the long term, number one. We could get the follow-up of those patients, those who continued that drug and those who did not. There was definitely reversal of the symptoms. Those who did not, they had. Even the DNA damage could be controlled, and even the mechanism to be found. We also found cardiomyopathy also to be treated by that. But simultaneously, we also found that there are the plant has got the sorcery itself has got dual effect, anti-obesity and anti-diabetic. I mean, if slight modification in the compound, we could establish. I mean, why I'm showing all this that yes, integrating the herbal with the modern legal practices. That's what the Chinese. Why Chinese medicine they are getting more and more successful. Nothing fake. They are doing it. They are utilizing this. So, what I could say that yes, we could come out with so many good things. We could go to different people. Ultimately, I was a pharmacologist. I was concerned with the targets, biomarkers, and I continued doing that. We could find that it is the and why it is cardioprotective because there is a acetyl CoA carboxylase which is involved. I could show that. So what I could conclude the third that like AI and all, it has complexities. Drug discovery has its own complexity. For each part, there can be full lectures, but I take that message that yes, AI is so complex. In drug discovery, all the more complex because drug discovery itself is complex. And then requirement for both is basic pharmacology knowledge. And then going further, what I personally feel that instead of trying AI only in that simple new drug discovery process, try to apply more in the traditional medicine. Even today, whatever medicine like digoxin, digitalis, digoxin came from digitalis, aspirin. Because of aspirin, we have all analgesia. Because of morphine, we have analgesia. Because of Rhythmia somnifera, we have got all antidepressant and all that. So ultimately, traditional medicine has been the base. Why not to integrate it for that? The AI problem. When we have a problem, we can apply it. So this is my third conclusion. Yes, we should use AI for optimum purpose for the traditional medicine. Well, now coming to the using different settings. And this all started by COVID. COVID gave, everybody is talking about the technology and technology because of the COVID. After COVID, everybody is talking. Even the AI came more after it. Well, there were many problems at the COVID, but by that time, it was very clear that you have to go for biotechnology, and the success of vaccine was one of the examples. Success could be done. So now, bio revolutions have been there. I will anyway. So reverse engineering, what happened that I felt that if I start searching the drugs by simple pharmacognostic manner, extraction, trying to understand the vaccination, I think by the time COVID I would have pulled everything. I said that let me talk to a doctor or the botanist, the ethnopharmacologist who can expertly tell from his expert knowledge that these are likely plants. Other side, I thought of identifying the target. So by that time it was known that the virus binds to N protein binds to ACE2. So I said, let us target this ACE2. And when I started understanding ACE2, I found it a wonder target. With that, I thought of doing the work. So reverse engineering, like you have the Ayurveda or Chinese, they have given the extract formulation for particular disease, but they need to be redefined. They have to be shown in the modern way. So what is that? They have phytochemicals to dismantling, like reverse engineering means you take a fan, dismantle it and reassemble. So these chemicals have to be understood in the way that you choose only those chemicals which will affect that particular target. For that, you have not to do the research. You have to simply take from literature the compounds and on other side the target. And then try to identify that you can have a formulation. So this analyzing this reverse engineering will be that phytochemicals, docking, and then redefining the or making a combination of the. You may also call the term drug repurposing. So that's what we did. That in the clinical research also that we found that when initially we started with the clinical research, again in literature base, we found that yes, AC2 is involved. Then angiotensin system is involved. We published that paper. So the very date will tell that it was in that. So within 4 or 5 months we could have it. That's what is the beauty of this. That when we started doing that, now this AC2, so this will not come in any AI or like that. If you see properly, this figure came out after 2020 versus separation research. AC2 was like a sodium potassium balance. After that, hypertension, retinopathy. And now with COVID, it was a fibrosis everywhere. And all sorts of complications in the body, nitric oxide everywhere. AC is everywhere. And this figure came out in 2022. And COVID can affect any of these organs. Post-COVID effect can affect any of these. And to me, it is a balance. Because if you see, AC2 will be regulating 81 and 82, which is opposite to each other. So you have a target. And we got talking of that AC along with 81 and 82. We went systematically with this, you can say, yes, this one. We used that and we got 26 hits, and out of that, we selected 10 new molecules and 2 plants based on the documents. And the formulation was made. When it was sent to University of Missouri, they were surprised to see this was dependent video. And we got that compound. We did clinical study in Sri Chitra University of Bangalore. We found that within 5 days, the responses were there and patient did. And studies were done in Amsterdam, studies were done on as per the scale, ICMR guidelines, everything was clear. Clearly indicate the drug was effective. Finally, we got license. So our approach was reverse engineering. This is sort of a reverse engineering. That isolate the compound, dock it with the targets, and develop the formula. That are the 3 simple steps of reverse engineering. Well, so we were successful in that. And now we are coming to with that we could develop compounds for social money. We could develop what social money fit in various targets. We could develop drug for cardiovascular almost final phase. And finally, I will come to one more conclusion. So, pharmacovigilance also another aspect. So pharmacovigilance, based on that adverse effects, we try to apply for what? Not just to see that okay, we withdraw our drug or the company may not be interested that much. But based on that, I feel that one can reverse translation. What it means is that once the drug reaches into the market, you identify at that time only you come up and the precision medicine starts from there. If you come to know particular protein or gene, go to this mechanism, protein which is involved, consider it as a target and start developing it. This is the, again, this term I am again using, forward translation and reverse translation. Well, reverse translation also need to be considered. Lastly, I am leaving with some questions. Can the AI ML can do everything? Of course, the whole day you are might have heard. No. They may have it, but there may be problems. The Einstein 70 years back he wrote such things are going to come. Then machines will do the job of human. And after that we are what we are doing is that he said it, we have to humanize. So humanization becomes whatever we are doing, it has to be human. And ultimately we should humanization means not just from the sympathy point of view, but ultimately we have to go back to our original traditional medicine, original pharmacology and original medicine. And he is not to become like these days if you ask a student, he is more interested in computer-based synthesis rather than lab work. It is happening with all disciplines. These are happening. Everybody is becoming a laptop researcher. This is a reality. And final questions are whether act came first or man came first. Think disease comes first or drug comes first. Technology has to come first or target has to come first. AI in IP should be there first or the drug has to be there. Should we have intelligence first or artificial things first? These are the, do we require artificial intelligence or intelligent application? These are the questions we have to think. Accordingly, what reverse translation? So whatever may we be talking, the pathway are that is easy. But yes, AI is the opportunity. Grab this opportunity, make the difference in your own way rather than just listening to one. With these words, I thank you for giving this.
Chair session, Mr. Bhumi, please sum up the session briefly.
Professor Goel, it was a fantastic session, full of information, and it was very engrossing, at least for me, coming from the pharmaceutical companies, industries which I have worked for. It has been a phenomenal how he has integrated the reverse drug discovery, how he has brought up the concept of target disease, how to work backwards, the use of network analysis, personalized medicine, and I'm sure the personalized medicine and target disease will be one area where the reverse drug development comes into picture. Thank you, sir, once again for such a good presentation. Today, who are learning pharmaceutical, pharma sciences, I want to tell you from 1995 to 2005 was the golden period for Indian pharmaceutical industry, where we were not respecting the process patent but the product patent. And that period, window of 10 years, gave rise to the Indian pharmaceutical industry, and there was a mushroom growth of pharmaceutical companies in India. That is one, and another aspect I would like to bring to your notice is what happened in 2000, the dot-com bubble. Dot-com bubble was something similar what we are facing today, the AI bubble. I am not saying that AI also bubble will burst. What we see today, the companies like NVIDIA has a market capitalization of $5 trillion, which is more than the GDP of India. Can you just beat it? Can you just imagine? Are we going to get the results? The results, what the revenue which they are thinking to get from AI in the coming years is approximately 350 to 400 billion dollars a year. So that is the kind of a catch. Is AI going to support that kind of an investment which is being made? With this particular thing, I would like to close and thanks once again to Professor Goel for the fantastic presentation.
So much, sir. The session chair to now felicitate Dr. Goel. Can we have a round of applause? Request Vandana ma'am to felicitate the session chair, Mr. Gurmi. Can we have a round of applause, please? Request for a group photograph as well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now request Dr. Richa to please initiate the valedictory session.
Good evening all. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the valedictory session of International Conference on Embracing AI in Pharma World with the theme Redefining Education, Research and Industry through Intelligent Innovation. Now it's time to celebrate the hard work, dedication and innovation showcased by our participants. So to celebrate, I would like to call Vanna ma'am to please come on the stage to give away the prizes and awards to the winners. So beginning with the oral presentation offline category, first on the third position there is a tie. First I'm announcing Rajneesh Kumar from SDT College of Pharmacy. Please come up on the stage and everybody. I would also like to invite Bhalla sir and Goel sir, please come up on the stage. So starting with the oral presentation offline category, on third position we have first Rajneesh Kumar from SDT College of Pharmacy. Please come up on the stage. Everybody please welcome with a huge round of applause. Next we have Gaurangi Agarwal from Lloyd School of Pharmacy on third position. Gaurangi, please welcome on the stage. On second position, everybody, can we have a huge round of applause? Please encourage them with a big round of applause. On second position, we have Dikshant Rohila from Hindu College of Pharmacy. Please come up on the stage. Next, on the first position, we have Ganesh Balman from LIMT. Please come up on the stage. Ganesh is not here. Calling the names of consolation prizes. First, we have Sumit Rohani from LIMT. For the consolation prizes, we have first Sumit Rohani from LIMT. On the stage. For consolation prize too, we have Trupti Vivekanand from KIET. Trupti from Kite, please come up on the stage. Trupti, can we have you on stage? Please watch here. Now announcing the names of poster presentation offline category. On third position, we have Amrit Ankama, Faculty of Pharmacy, Smart University. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause. Amrit Ankama. Amrit Ankama is not here. On second position, we have, again there is a tie, Sahil Goswami from MIT Meerut. Sahil Goswami. And we have Sumit from South Point College. Sumit from South Point College. On second position. It's also not here. Announcing the name of first position, we have Tarun Sarin from LIMT. Tarun Sarin from LIMT. Please come up on the stage. It's not here. For consolation prizes, we have Harshit Agarwal from LSP, Harshit Agarwal from Lloyd School of Pharmacy. Next, for the consolation prize too, we have Ankit Khatri, CN College of Pharmacy. Ankit Khatri from CN College of Pharmacy. Yeah. Everybody, please welcome them with a huge round of applause. Next, for the online presentations, we are announcing the names of the winners. On third position, we have Naman Chaudhary from ABESIT College of Pharmacy. On second position, we have Navina from Anna University. Then we have on first position in the online presentation category, we have Virendra Subaji from Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Their these certificates will be sent on their registered email IDs. And for the poster presentation online category, on third position we have Ayush Sundriyal from SGT College of Pharmacy. On second position we have Akansha Mishra, MD Institute of Pharmacy, MD University, Noida. And on first position we have Jitin Matthew from MGSF Institute of Pharmacy, Bangalore. As we celebrate the participants, we also extend a sincere thanks to the evaluators. So, first announcing the name of Dr. Sunita, Principal, the College Pharmacy, Sonika, Haryana. Please welcome on stage. Everybody, please welcome her with a huge round of applause. Next, we have Dr. Ravi Shankar Tripathi, Dean Academics, TRC Mahavidyalaya, Department of Pharmacy, Barabanki, Uttar Pradesh. Next, Dr. P.V. Gupta, Associate Professor, Hindu College of Pharmacy, Sonipat, Haryana. Dr. P.V. Gupta. Next, then we have Dr. Mukesh Kumar, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Pharmacy, Subharti College of Pharmacy. Next, can we have Dr. Sumita Kumari, Principal, PA College of Pharmacy, Sonipat. Dr. Sabi Endil, Associate Professor, South Point College of Pharmacy, Sonipat, Haryana. Now next we have Dr. Ram Babu Tripathi, Professor, MIT Institute of Pharmacy. Thank you so much. Dr. Shabana. Next, can we have Dr. Shabana? Can we have a huge round of applause, everyone? Can we have Dr. Talibar Singh, Associate Professor, MIT Institute of Pharmacy, MIT University? Thank you so much, ma'am, sir, for joining us. Now I would like to invite Dr. Chitra Gupta, Professor and Dean PG, Lloyd Institute of Management and Technology, for vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of Lloyd Group of Institutions, it is my privilege and honor to propose this vote of thanks for today's inspiring and intellectually stimulating international conference on embracing AI in pharma world, themed Redefining Education, Research, Industry through Intellectual Innovations. First and foremost, we express our deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Professor D.P. Singh, for his visionary inaugural address that enlightened us on transformative role of AI in shaping the future of education and healthcare. Our heartfelt thanks to the presidential address speaker, Dr. G.N. Singh, whose words offered profound insights into the evolving regulatory landscape and the critical need for intelligent innovations in pharma. We extend sincere appreciation to all our guests of eminence, Dr. Ajay Sachan, Mr. Vipul Gupta, Dr. Roop Krishnkhar, and all distinguished awardees for their gracious presence and motivating contributions. We are deeply honored and sincerely thankful to Professor Ramesh Goyal sir, former Vice Chancellor DEPSRU, for joining us a day prior to the conference, interacting extensively with our research scholars and faculty, and for graciously awarding certificates to the participants of the pre-conference workshop. His mentorship and generosity added immense value to this academic endeavor. A special thank you to our plenary speakers, Professor Vanda B. Patravale, Dr. Tridev Sastri, Mr. Babu Saheb Patel, and Ms. Gitanjali Pankaj Bhakta for sharing cutting-edge perspectives that beautifully bridge scientific understanding with future-ready AI applications. We are equally grateful to all the panelists and the moderators who engaged us in rich, thought-provoking discussions that highlighted opportunities, challenges, and path ahead of AI-driven pharmaceutical sciences. Our heartfelt thanks to the session chairs, co-chairs, academic leaders, industry dignitaries, and researchers for their valuable time and contributions. Our sincere appreciation also goes to IBM for their active and meaningful support in conducting the pre-conference workshop. We extend thanks to the IPA, Delhi State Branch, and Felix Hospital for their continued support and collaboration, which greatly enhanced the success of the conference. A big note of appreciation to all the delegates, faculty members, research scholars, and students for their active participation in oral poster presentations and for making this conference vibrant and meaningful. Last but not the least, we acknowledge the dedication of the organizing committee, technical team, volunteers, and support staff whose tireless efforts ensure the smooth and successful conduct of the event. To conclude, let us carry forward the spirit of innovation, collaboration, and learning that today's conference has ignited. I would like to close with a mantra from Rigveda, Sangachadvam, Samvedadvam, Samvamana, Sijanatam, Deva Bhagam, Yatha Purve, Sajananam, Upasate. Let us move together, let us speak together, let our minds be in harmony, for only in unity did those before us attain the highest knowledge. Thank you very much, all of you.
We have one more evaluator, Dr. Mamta Bishnoi, Professor, Department of Pharmacy, Medical Allied Sciences, Belgorod University. Can we have you on stage, please? We will now proceed for high tea on 7th floor. And guests, please go on the first floor. Now may I request the organizing committee, please come up on the stage for a group photograph. Organizing team, please come on stage for a group photograph. Faculties and students in the organizing team, please come on stage.